Kebbi Accountant General sentenced to prison. Mohammed Arzika Dakingari, who is a Kebbi State Accountant General, has been sentenced to 70 years imprisonment for awarding contracts to himself and defrauding the state of N1. In a statement by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, on Friday, October 20th, it was reported that the Accountant General had first been acquitted by a Kebbi State High Court. However, the case was taken to the Court of Appeal, where it was upturned and he was sentenced to prison. Dakingari reportedly used his position for personal enrichment as he awarded contracts to Bio Construction Nigeria Limited, a company he owned, and used his sons as directors. Read the statement below. The Court of Appeal, Kebbi Division, has upturned the judgment of a Kebbi State High Court which discharged and acquitted a Kebbi State Accountant General, Mohammed Arzika Dakingari, on charges of conspiracy and obtaining by false pretense preferred against him and one other by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. He, among other things, allegedly used his office as the Accountant General, Kebbi State, for personal enrichment to the tune of N1.6 billion. Dakingari was charged alongside Musa Yusuf, Managing Director, Bio Construction Nigeria Limited, a company owned by him, Dakingari, and used and award various contracts to himself. Dakingari's stake in Bio Construction Limited is contrary to civil service regulation, which forbids serving officers from owning businesses. Findings by the EFCC at the Corporate Affairs Commission, CAC, showed that Mohammed Bashir Mohammed, Anwar Sadat and Nazar Mohammed, all sons of the Accountant General, are directors of the company, Bio Construction, while two of his brothers, Abdulahi Mohammed and Habibi Mohammed, are the other two directors. The construction company operates two accounts at EcoBank and Unity Bank, with Dakingari and Yusuf as signatories to the accounts. However, Dakingari was discovered to operate with two signatures, one in his official capacity as Accountant General of the state and the other as owner of Bio Construction Company Limited. Analysis of the accounts revealed a total credit of N1.3 billion between May 2012 and September 2013, with most of the receipts coming from the Office of the Accountant General and the Kebbi State Ministry of Finance. Some of the contracts executed for the state for which Bio Construction Company received huge payments included the supply of furniture to 66 secondary schools in Kebbi State valued at N987 million, the connection of water and drainage system at Kebbi Central Mosque valued at N110 million, and the building and partitioning of Muhammad Mara Secondary School valued at N247 million. Upon the conclusion of investigation, the EFCC filed a 20-count charge of conspiracy, obtaining by false pretense and abuse of office against Dakingari and Yusuf. The trial court in its determination of the case convicted and sentenced Yusuf to 6 months imprisonment, while it discharged and acquitted Dakingari. Dissatisfied, the EFCC approached the Court of Appeal asking it to set aside the judgment of the lower court and convict Dakingari as charged. The appellate court in its well-considered judgment allowed the appeal by the EFCC, convicted and sentenced Dakingari to 7 years imprisonment each on 10 of the counts preferred against him by the anti-graft agency. The sentence is, however, to run concurrently. Meanwhile, the wife of former President Goodluck Jonathan, Patience Jonathan, on Thursday, October 19, temporarily blocked the Federal High Court in Abuja from hearing an ex-parte application filed by the EFCC seeking an order of interim forfeiture of 2 properties traced to her in Abuja. Punch reports that such ex-parte applications are heard by courts without the knowledge or participation of the other parties whose properties are at stake. The EFCC stages walk against corruption.